Hey folks, Pastor John coming to you with today's daily devotion. John chapter 1 gives us a beautiful breakdown of who Jesus is, from his beginnings to his state there in John chapter 1, to his walk in Galilee, to everything that Christ truly was. It says, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. The same was in the beginning with God. So many times we read through that, and I'm afraid we skip over verse 14. We read it, but we just really don't look at it. Verse 14 says, and the Word was made flesh and dwelt among us, and we beheld the glory of the only begotten Son of the Father. So much is in that verse. The Word, the living God, the Son of Jehovah, Yahweh, the Son of the God of the universe, was made flesh and dwelt among us. He came to this earth so that we could see who God truly is. Now, when God was on the mountaintop, out in the desert, he comes down, he sits down in fire and smoke and thunder and lightning, and it's terrifying for the children of Israel, so much that they don't even want to go anywhere near the mountain. They put up fences. God says to put up barriers to keep them from coming up the mountain. But that's not who Jesus was. Jesus walked and talked among us. He was one of us. He had 10 fingers and 10 toes. He had ears and eyelashes and a nose. He had everything that we had. He is exactly like us. He was made flesh and dwelt among us. And the Son of God becomes a man, walks and talks through the streets of Jerusalem, and we get to see God in the flesh. Not the one who sits down on the mountain and shakes it violently. There's nothing wrong with that God. That's the God of the universe. That's the one who spoke everything into existence. And the Father is that immense being who we need to have relationship with. The only way we can have a relationship with the Father is through the Son. Because the Son, like you and I, has everything appointed to him through the Father. Everything that could tempt him, tempted him. Everything that could try him, tried him. Everything that could happen to him, happened to him. He got tired. He laid down in the boat and went to sleep. He got hungry. He went and got something to eat. He got thirsty. He went to the well. The Word was made flesh and dwelt among us. And we beheld the glory of the only begotten of the Father. Think about that. God in the flesh. Emmanuel, God with us. God poured himself into skin so that he could understand exactly what you're going through today. He could understand those feelings, those emotions that you have today. The thrill and the excitement that you feel, Jesus felt that. The sadness and frustration, he felt that as well. Jesus shows up in a lot of unique situations. You ever gone to a wedding? Weddings are joyous occasions. You've got two people who have fallen in love. They're coming together to pronounce before their family and before God their everlasting love for one another, and it's a celebration. Jesus went to weddings. There were feasts in the land where people would have friends over for lunch and for dinner. Jesus went to those. He also went to the cemetery. He also went to the funeral. He went to the funeral of Lazarus and raised him from the dead. He went to the funeral of the widow at Nain and raised her son from the dead. Jesus couldn't go to a funeral without breaking up a funeral. He couldn't go to the hospital without breaking up the hospital. He couldn't go places without making his presence known. You and I are to be the same way. We are to let the light of Jesus Christ shine through us because he was made flesh and survived this world. You and I were made flesh and can survive this world as well. So, remember that if Jesus did it, you can do it too. I love you. I'm praying for you. Hope you have a magnificent week. I will see you again tomorrow. God bless you as always, is my prayer.